Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 47 of Pure Strength. Yet again, today's training consisted of couch stretch, then moving into dynamic front squats, good mornings, then Nordics, and then neutral grip curls to end with. So for the dynamic front squats, I'm actually realizing that just because you're going dynamic doesn't mean that your technique is gonna be perfect because you're still exerting the same amount of force that you want to when you're going extremely hard. So let me just try to explain it a little bit better. When you're going extremely hard, like going close to failure, like let's say you're doing a max effort day with 195 kg, 200 kg, like in a safety squat bar, then you're obviously exerting 200 kg of force if you can barely fucking move it. Like then you are exerting 200 kg of force if it's moving at snail pace, right? Um, so let's say you're using 60% of your one rep max, so 120 kg in that case, and you're moving very fast, like around 0.8 meters per second. Then you're gonna be exerting probably above 200 kg of force, because if we calculate force equals mass times acceleration, and that is probably going to come out to more than 200 kg of force. So that way you're still going like all out. Like even though the weight is moving fast, you are still getting full contraction. You're actuating the high threshold motor unit still. So really, if you want to work just purely on technique, I would still be using that light load, but slowing the movement down to hit the technical things better. So therefore, I would say, like some people would call like the dynamic effort day a technique day, but I think that is wrong. I would more so call my post squat day my technique day, because I have these lighter sets with after my top set where I'm not focused on moving extremely fast, but I'm more focused on moving in the right positions, where I'm trying to avoid my hips shooting back, and my knees shooting back, so my butt rises and rises before everything else, and I'm trying to stay in that upright position and trying to keep my back 100% straight and trying to have the bar traveling like directly vertically up and down, no horizontal displacement when I start to move up, and when I'm moving maximally unlike with maximal velocity on the dynamic effort day, I can't really focus on that because there's so much force being put into it still. So it's much easier if I'm using 135 kg on the back of sets, like 85% of what I can do, and I'm not trying to just move extremely fast. I can sit down in the pause position in the bottom and get a little bit of time to think about what I want to do, and then like on purpose move up a little bit slower, but maintain good form and actually train the position that I want to be in. So I think if you really want to train the get stronger in like the position that you have, what you gotta do is like start out by maybe reducing the load that you're using by like 25%. So if your max is 200, right, or your working set for 5 to the 5 is like 170, reduce it back to like 130 kg for a little bit, and don't just try to move it as fast as possible, because if you're exerting the maximum force, as I just talked about, then you're gonna end up in that same position again if you're just trying to move as fast as possible. But try to move as fast as possible as you can while maintaining that really good technique that you actually want to achieve. And this is probably going to be a hard pillow to swallow for a lot of people. And I mean, even for myself, it's always very hard psychologically to have to take a step backwards from what you have been doing before. But I can promise you that in the long run, it is going to be extremely beneficial. And it is something that I've learned from watching a lot of extremely strong individuals like Matt Wenning talk about this, that the most important thing is going to be the technique. You can always build up the muscular strength, but if someone lacks technique, that is way harder to actually fix than a weakness in the quads or in the hips or in the hamstrings or in the whatever muscle you want to talk about that contribute to the lift that you're performing. So the technique should always be the thing that you focus on the most. Right, so anyways, the rest of the training today was good mornings, really deep good mornings still. And as I've talked about, I'm actually getting deeper on those that I've ever done before, simply from getting exposure to the movement again. And I'm actively just driving down with my hip flexors, pulling myself down. I still have full control of the weight, even if I'm going a little bit fast. So the weight is never pulling me down. It's always I'm able to stop at any point that I want throughout the movement and go back up, which I think, especially in an exercise like good morning, that is important because no matter how much I'm going to talk about like how good it is, I can't run from the fact that it is a little bit more risky than an RDL. But if you're doing it well, that risk is not gonna be that much bigger, if any at all. But it means that you have to do it extremely well and not constantly train close to failure like you would in an RDL maybe. After that, I did the Nordic curls, 5 sets of 3 and 5 sets of 2 in like 10 minutes, something like that. No, actually, I did 8 sets of 3 instead. So in like 10 minutes, something like that. So that was extremely hard volume. And I think for most people, it's a good way to train, but it's also an extremely hard way to train. And I think like good morning, where a lot of people struggle to go for really good reps. And if you're going to do it that way, I would highly advise probably using an elastic band to keep the quality of all the reps high. Then to end the training, I did these neutral grip curls, and as planned, just 17 reps with 41 kg in the first set to set a PR. I'm a little bit torn about how I need to perform these. I think I'm using a little bit too much momentum from raising my shoulders. So I want to focus next time, or when I get to training with 41 kg and have to move back to training with 46, I can focus way more on slowing it down, the movement, and keeping elbows in the same position constantly, and then my form will be a lot better. Anyway, that is all for Brute Strength Day 46, and I hope to see you all next time.